Rahim. Thank you very much, Dr. Saab, Dr. Rahman Saab, for providing me with this opportunity to address such a luminous gathering of scholars, students, health professionals, people dealing with research. Indeed, research is a instrument which is used in the discovery of knowledge. It's not just an important human endeavor in the context of creation of knowledge, but it is also a sacred duty, a duty of a human being conscious of his duties to the mankind. And also, as a Muslim, if I speak for my own faith, yes indeed, research is an obligation of all Muslims in the search of knowledge. We are duty bound to explore the boundaries of knowledge to the maximum limit that we can. And that is the injunctions of our Holy Quran and the instructions of our great Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Knowledge indeed is a sacred duty because it serves civilizations. Civilizations are born and civilizations are destroyed. But the process of knowledge, by the utilization of knowledge, by using knowledge to benefit mankind, and also they go down the drain, they are destroyed when knowledge is misused, knowledge is not utilized as per its requirements. So, having said this, researchers, since you people are involved in the very important, utmost cardinal duty of exposition and exploration of knowledge, indeed, reason, as we say, is the foremost key in this process. A reason guided by rationalism to discover hitherto unknown boundaries of knowledge which the creator of this universe has in a way left there for us to explore. Although I'm not supposed to be talking about what I'm saying right now, but I believe that since I've been hearing the word research, the term research repeatedly, these are the thoughts that just came to my mind while listening to the luminous speakers before me. I believe that a few words on this topic are essential in the context of this particular gathering, because when I think about one of the verses of the Holy Quran in Surah Zariyat, Allah states that I have created this universe and it is ever expanding. It is in the process of expansion. And when an entity is in the process of expansion and it is ever expanding, it means it's not static. And when something is not static, it means there are hitherto unexplored venues that requires to be understood, that requires to be discovered. And then whatever you learn from that discovery process to be utilized in the betterment of mankind, but at the same time in the promotion of that process as well. I believe it was this approach which has influenced the thinking of mankind. The intellectual faculties have been challenged throughout the history, all ages, be it the religious explanations of the phenomenon of nature or scientific discovery into rationalizing those phenomena. I believe it's a long process going back centuries, thousands of years. And today we are sitting at such a stage in human civilization and in human progressive evolution that there are more questions to be answered. There are more venues to be explored. And for that, I believe the entire human experience in this context is at our disposal. The issue is, are we intellectually capable of exploiting the resources that we have in a way that benefits humankind, that speeds up the process of evolution in the right sense? Historical materialism is a philosophical system which believes in the development and progression in both material and non-material contexts. Hegel, the Western philosopher, called it the dialectics, the process of dialectics, dialectical materialism. And if we look at our lives at the moment, I believe we are just the product of those dialectic processes of dialecticism. At the moment, we are struggling to find answers, and in the process, we confront more questions. And then we try to answer those questions, and we come up with more questions. But this is how nature and the creator of this universe, the Khaliq-e-Kainat, has probably engineered this universe. And we are doing nothing but following the dictates of nature, and we are exploring knowledge. Rationalism, a very important key in this respect. Muslims, as Muslims, I believe that Allah has made us duty bound to explore knowledge and to acquire knowledge. And the Prophet once said in one of his ahadith, he states that knowledge is the forgotten heritage of mankind, but Muslims especially. And all Muslims are duty bound to explore and find it wherever they can. I believe this is what our duty as human beings and as Muslims is. But why are we, like as mentioned earlier before me, or what the speakers spoke about, research, knowledge, but lack of implementation? I believe there is a gap in policy and implementation. And that gap is not for any other reason, but because of the defective system of governance that we have in mostly underdeveloped countries or developing countries. We are faced with the challenge of how to implement our thought processes in actual practice. This is not just in the context of healthcare, this is not just in the context of medical sciences. We are suffering from this malaise, from this systemic defect in all our disciplines of life. It is because of another reason as well, that the more you grow knowledge, the more you create knowledge, indeed it leads to the development of and strengthening of civilizations. But at the same time, it is affected by negative powers as well, by negative forces. And those negative forces tend to turn it, divert it towards certain interests that are probably inimical to the values of mankind, like market economy. We are living in an age where money is becoming everything, where material interests are dominating our moral obligations. Our mindset is engineered in a way that it thinks of material benefits rather than benefits that may collectively contribute to the development of human beings. We tend to focus more on material gains rather than spiritual or non-material gains. And probably some of the reasons that we have this knowledge deficit is this reason. However, coming down to and trying my best not to talk too much. As a lawyer, as a politician, this is my genetic disposition to talk too much. I'll try to refrain from boring you a lot with my thoughts, but would like to simply mention one basic fact, that civilizations are created with the strength and power of ideas. It is the idea which is basically the light, the force, the impetus behind progress. As Iqbal said, Jahan taza ki afkar taza se hai namud. Jahan taza ki अफकार ताज़ा से है नमूद कि संग खिश्त से होते नहीं जहाँ पैदा. And this idea, this power, this afkar taza is the byproduct of research. It is the objective of research. It is the purpose of tahqiq, as outlined by Qari Sahab earlier. Quran insists upon tafakkarun, wa tasharun, wa tafhamun, wa ta'qilun. Use your brain, use your mind, use your rationality. However, to what extent do we actually use it to benefit mankind? That's a question for us to answer. Issues are there, but this universe is incomplete. We need researchers, we need people who have the guts and the capability to explore this universe. ये कायनात अभी नामुकम्मल है शायद कि दमादम आ रही है सदाए कुन फयकून. The process of creation is ongoing, and the process of discovery must also be ongoing. In order to meet the challenges of time, in order to meet new challenges, healthcare is your discipline. Of course, you are obliged to carry out researches and contribute in the development of mankind and to face these challenges. So far as the role of government is concerned, yes, it is our obligation as a government, as a regulator, to support and facilitate institutions like this. Private sector has come a long way in the process of in terms of education, research, and similar activities. I believe there's no doubt in the fact that at the moment, all over the world, and especially in Pakistan, private sector education is contributing more in standard and quality to disciplines that are concerned with it. And medicine and health sciences are, of course, one of the most important areas where private sector is contributing a lot, both in terms of healthcare as well as education. Government of KP, as I'm representing it at the moment, yes, of course. Very recently, you might have heard that the government has announced to bring kidney transplant, liver transplant, bone marrow transplant, and cochlear implant. In the context of healthcare, we are giving it coverage now so that people who do not have the economic resources can benefit from it. Research is another area, but as I've heard and as told, yes, indeed, we must do something for granting the charter to Rahman Medical Institute and similar other institutions. We may have issues administrative, but inshallah look into it, and I promise that inshallah this problem will be resolved soon and expeditiously. Having said all this, once again I thank you all for allowing me to address you and to vent out my feelings and express my thoughts. Thank you very much. Thank you.